So I truly appreciate you coming, here and then spending your Saturday evening. I was here last time, and most of you were here, I think. So I won't bore you with all the backgrounds that I have. I give you a little bit of, my personal, professional, and political career, and how we can basically move forward with the campaign. Because we have only 4 months to go for the primary. So I'm from Nepal. I grew up in Nepal. Before I was born, my father passed away, leaving my mother to take care of myself and my sister. So it was that formidable time in my life. I learned the value of hard work and importance of the family. My mom taught me it's not economic circumstances that makes your character, but that comes within. So I came to this country 20 years ago, as like many of you. I'm a very simple person in pursuit of engineering degree. Worked very hard as a student, taking 18, 20 credit hours, and going to college and working 60, 70 hours to support myself. In '92, I got my engineering degree, and then went on to work for high-tech companies, starting from bottom up as a software engineer. So I have a 10-year career in high technology companies, working for different facets: marketing, sales, engineering, and also managing company. And I got my '98. I got my MBA, and then basically co-founded a company that brought a technology to a food and drug store. So basically, we created that niche market and then changed people's buying habit. As you can see, back in 2003, 2004, you used to use the floppy drives in a computer to save files, documents, photographs, and that was becoming obsolete, and then USB drive became very de facto standard. So we brought those products, basically packaged it from a retail store to bring it to the places like 7-Eleven, Safeway, QFC, and food and drug store. So that company is very successful, worked very hard for it, and so I'm running for this congressional seat from Seattle area. And I have actually never thought of getting into politics, neither in Nepal over here, but when Iraq war started, that was the first spark that I got. It was an unjust war, and I thought that is something that American public really need to learn and understand the importance of that war. So that's how I started my political career back in Seattle, starting to know working the groundwork, knowing the precinct level to district, district to county, county to state, and state to federal level, what that all is about, and then really work my way through up. So I got elected as a first legislative district to represent in a county. So I used to sit in a county Democratic Executive Board and also first legislative district executive board. They invited me to sit on a Human Rights Commission. I served as a Parks Advisory Board also, and in various non-profit organizations. So I was planning to run for an office for a while, since 2008, and this congressman, who's a sitting congressman right now, who just resigned on March 20th, was planning to run for a governor. So he announced to run for a governor in June 2027 last year, and I announced my candidacy also to fill his seat. So it was very well covered by the media, locally and nationally. And then especially I really applaud all of you for giving me the moral and financial support that has gotten my campaign this far in the last 10 months. And I've get an unprecedented level of support from the Nepalese community throughout the world. A lot of support from Nepal, a lot of support from America. I've traveled crisscross every major cities, meeting all the Nepalese community as a first Nepali US citizen to run for a US Congress. So we've raised about $150,000 in last 2 quarters, but we have a long way to go to make this happen for all of us. So the reason I'm running when I go and talk to people is, I came to this country 20 years ago. I'm an example for living American dream. As you know, that American dream is fading away for a lot of hardworking families. And I believe it's fading away because Washington has forgotten to reflect our values of who we are as a nation of life, liberty, pursuit of happiness for all, in politics and policies. And because of that, we find economically weak and internationally challenged, and I'm running to restore that American dream. It's unfortunate that we are the richest country in the world, and yet we are 20 million Americans out of work. 50 million Americans can't afford health insurance, and that is unacceptable to me, and it should be unacceptable to all of you. So I'm a regular guy, just somebody who saw Washington not working for us. And I'm a simple guy who knows the challenges of running a business. I'm somebody who can also bring a global perspective to US Congress. So this is the message I'm going out with, talking to a lot of voters, and it's resonating very well with them. Because they see me as an outsider. Today we have a 10% approval rate of Congress. So this year I think it's going to be a year that it's going to sweep by all the outsiders and non-politicians. So I have a very good chance of winning. So it's a little bit of background on this congressional seat. It's a first district in Washington State. We used to have 9 congressmen, so in 2010 we went through the census data, and then there's a growth of about 700,000 people. What that means is each congressman represents about 700,000 people. So that means that we're going to have 1 more congressman, so we're going to be electing 10 congressmen from Washington State with a 7 million population. So we went through the redistricting, and then we came out with a map just in January of this year. I'm still in the first district, but the district is very big. It's massive. It's about 120 or 130 miles. So what that means is I have to put a lot of boots on the ground, and I have to raise a lot of money to go on a television. That's the only way voters are going to know who I am and what my message is, because it's going to be impossible to go door to door, for that many houses, almost 500,000. So about 500,000 voters right now, and this is the district is very equally divided between the Republican and a Democrat, they say, in the whole nation. So before it used to be a safe district, now it's a swing district. So what that means is that we have to work more harder. And before Democrat used to hold this seat, and then now it's going to be one of the national focus is going to be on this seat in the 1st Congressional District, because Democrats want to win this seat to gain the majority in a US House of Representatives. So it's very important that we all need to really understand that how important this election is for all of us to win. So, I believe there's going to be a lot of media attention. There's going to be a lot of pressure from a Democratic Party. There's going to be a lot of pressure from a White House in order to win this race, that you need to show the credibility and a viability of a campaign, and to show that is basically really raising a lot of money and having a lot of big support. So I have about 1,200 people already donated in my campaign. So I'm very fortunate to have that many people so far, and that has really gotten a lot of attention of the Democratic Party locally, nationally, and also with the people up there, with the media. So I'm covered with the media a lot. So yesterday evening we had a debate. It was hosted by AFL-CIO. So the debate went very well. I was very powerful among 7 candidates, and I have a very big hope that I might get the support from them, the labor union, because labor is a very big in Washington State. If they can support me, they can put a lot of money into my campaign, and also let a lot of people, boots in the ground. So they all came to me. They told me, you talk like us, you walk like us, you smell like us, because they've been really burned by politicians. And they want somebody new to represent them, because labor is under attack in this country today. So, so I'm going to be working very hard with the labor. And this morning, I have a good announcement. We had actually planned one event in the afternoon with Sandra. I had to cancel that because there was a Snohomish County meeting for endorsement. So they endorsed me, by the way. So that was a really good news that I came down with. So, and it's a huge for my campaign. And they endorsed all the candidates, by the way. So one of the things what I tell you all is why it is important for you to support me. I don't want you thinking that he's a Nepali that you need to support, but I am a credible candidate. I can win this race. That's how you have to look at it. So there is really 5 reasons I have really rose up to run for this seat. The first of all is identity. Like in Nepali people, we have in South Asian, we don't have any representation in US Congress, right? And yet we are 3 million Indian living in US, and about 100,000 Nepalese living here. So a lot of people still don't know about Nepal, like Howard said, right? He's contributing a lot, and going out telling people about Nepal. I really appreciate that. Thank you. So we need to really show to the community that there is a country called Nepal. There is a people called identity called Nepali. We are from Nepal, we have our own identity. So that's going to help a lot with the US Congress. You bet, because if I get elected, to US Congress, one of the most powerful Congress in the world, to send somebody from our community is going to mean a lot. Because it's not Darshan Ruaniyar is going to Capitol Hill, it's the whole Nepal is going to Capitol Hill, it's whole India is going to Capitol Hill, and the whole South Asia is going to Capitol Hill. So it's in our vested interest. Second thing is we have a lot of issues, right? We have an immigration issue, we have a visa issue, we don't have any representation. We don't have representation in a local level, in a state level, or a federal level. So I can be your voice. I will represent you. I will represent this community and South Asian community. Whatever problem you have, you can come to me and I will be able to solve it. Because as a congressman, you have a lot of power to solve. You can write bills, you can pass bills, you have access to President of the United States to get things done for the community here and for the whole South Asia region. So it's very important that we understand that, because US policies is moving to focus a lot in South Asia. As you can see, Obama was there in Australia establishing a military base, and he's going to be focusing a lot, in the whole South Asia strategically from a trade perspective, from other areas as well. So if I'm there, I'm the best one to really write that policy, because I am from there. I am that people. I know the culture. I know the religion. So they will be coming to me to really finding out what can we do to really design this whole America's foreign policy towards South Asia. Third is, the most important thing I think is we are a constituent, big constituent here, right? Like I said, 3 million Indians, 100,000 Nepalis. We don't have a voice. If we come together and then be that voice, you bet we need to have Obama or President of the United States come and talk to us. They will do that. Like we have a caucus for Hispanic, we have a caucus for African American, we have a caucus for Jewish people, we have a caucus for other groups, but not for a South Asian. Why not? Because we haven't really organized. We haven't come to a American political mainstream. So it's time. Go ahead.
Correction. There's the Indian caucus.
There is the Indian caucus, but the constituent, I'm saying. The voting constituent, and we are spread out throughout the US, right, that we need to have politicians, national politicians come and talk to us and find out what the issues are, and we should be talking to them to represent our issues, have a voice, right? So we need to absolutely do that. And, and the fourth thing I say is I can be that bridge between the US and then South Asia, between US, Nepal or India, to really define the whole American strategy. Especially with Nepal right now, America doesn't have a policy towards Nepal. It goes through India, it goes through China, right? All the policy. But when I'm there, that will change. And I will have a lot of things to say what the US government policy is going to be for Nepal or India specifically. From having a voice who gets to get elected as a US ambassador to Nepal, to economic policy, to bringing stability in that region, and then helping write constitution, because Nepal is going through a monumental challenge, and I think we are the one who can fix this mess right now in Nepal. And it's about time we need to do that. And that's one of the reasons also I'm running, because it's unfortunate we're talking about how many Nepalese living outside Nepal. They're all living every single day, 1,000 Nepalese looking for jobs. That need to stop, and we need to fix our country and bring a democracy and stability in that country. And when I'm in Congress, you can count on me to do that. That will be one of the most important things that I will take up and go visit Nepal with leaders and sit down and then bring stability, write constitution, and bring all Nepalese back from all over the world and put them to work, because Nepal needs a lot of development and the work is right there. And fifth is, I say it's a youth. We have Indians, especially about third generation, fourth generation living in this country without voice. In Nepalese, about 2 generations. I'm the first generation immigrant. We need to show them that this is a country, if you are willing to work hard with determination, you can not only become doctor, engineers, and lawyer, but you can also become a politician. You can also represent the community. You can also represent to go to a state house or a US Congress, and then represent that group of people. So if I can become congressman tomorrow, they can run for a US president. So it's very important to teach our children that they can become whoever they want to in this country. So I'm here to ask for your support, and I'm standing up to represent this group of people and the community, because in this country, if you are willing to work hard, you can become whoever you want. And right now, with my candidacy, media is covering a lot as a first Nepali immigrant running for Congress. A lot of people already now know about Nepal, who did not used to know. A lot of people come to talk to me. Oh, where is Nepal? Now I know about Nepal. And a lot of people tell me they've been to Nepal and all that stuff. So we are already taken Nepal into another level with my candidacy, and going to Congress, we will definitely bring a big global perspective there. So I believe I can win this race. If I didn't believe that, there was no reason for me to get into this race, and I'm spending about 18 to 20 hours every single day. I sleep literally 3 hours every day, because there's so much work involved, so many things. Running a campaign is extremely hard in this country, extremely hard. And asking people to vote for you is extremely difficult also, because you have to convince them, you have to take a position, you have to go travel, and you have to go do so many speeches. And the district is very big. It comprised of 700,000 people, 10 legislative districts, 4 counties. So it's a very lot of big tasks. So you need to have a field operation, you need to have campaign manager, you need to have consultant, it's a big whole thing, like running a medium-sized company that you're looking at. So one of the things that in this race is, we used to have 11 candidates before. So now 3 candidates dropped out, and 6 of us are Democrats, 1 Republican, and 1 independent. So 2 Republicans dropped out, and they basically coalescing behind one guy. So with the Washington State's law, you have a top 2 primary. What that means is that 2 candidates, whoever gets the most votes, they advance to the general election. So we have a primary coming up in August 7th that I have to win first. So because of the field of candidates, Democratic Party is not going to support us right now, because we have to fight it out ourselves. They're going to give us a moral support, they're going to give us all the support that you need, but financial support, the resource support, they're not going to give you right now, because they have to look at us equally. So what that means is that's a very big challenge. There's a pool of money there, pool of donors that has donated to a Washington politician, right? So everybody is reaching out to those groups, and it's pretty much dried out now. So what that means is I have to go back to our own base, which means friends, family, community members, to ask for donation again. And that is the challenge. And it's very tough for all the candidates to raise funds right now. Everybody is going back to their base. There's a couple of women candidates that are going to a women's group. There's the LGBT gay guy who is going after a gay group. There's a lawyer who's asking for a lawyer support, and raising funds. So that's why I'm here. I'm asking you to support again in this candidacy, because this is something that we all have to come together and win this race. And the way I see to win this race is, I already have a moral support, and I need a financial support, and I want you really seriously think about coming to Seattle around July timeframe to campaign, because the only way we can win this race is going door to door, getting my name out, getting my message out to the voters, and that's how you win election in America. If I can raise enough funds, that is the only way I can win this race. And then in this time of era, people are tired of politicians. They are looking for a new face, fresh voice, somebody different, and I'm already there with the community. So I need to show that I have people behind my campaign I can put the boots on the ground to go door to door to win this race. So by calculation, I think, so we have about 400,000 voters registered. So half of them Republican, half of them Democrat. That's 200,000 Democrats. So in a primary, it's about 40–50% of the voters come out and vote. So one of the biggest things, the way we're going to win is get out the vote effort, put more people on the ground and ask people to vote, and vote on the election day. So with 6 of us, it's going to divide up the vote. Okay, so that means I just need probably 25, 30,000 votes to win.